All right, cool. So we're on OBS then, correct?
Yes.
All right, good evening, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 3rd at 7:02 p.m. Welcome to Rex Sisters. We appreciate you joining us on this, again, cold evening. Uh, Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, and if you can, uh, contribute anything. We are still in the hole, and we are going to be coming up on our 1 year anniversary. And if we're going to continue this, we really need some monetary support uh, so that we can keep the show going. So if you can contribute anything, we would appreciate that. You'll see our, yeah, not PayPal. What is it, Crazy B?
Cash
I'm
App.
sorry. Thank you, Cash App. Like, that just went out the window somewhere. Our Cash App is up there in the corner, right-hand corner at the top. Um, and with that, what's going on, Crazy B?
Oh, just the typical chaos, 450 wrenches, well, tools between wrenches, sockets, the screw bits, the everything came in at once today.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
we got all of it. The tools came in, but my poor daughter had to lift that. That was heavy. I feel bad for her, but I couldn't lift it. It was easily 60 pounds. There was no way I could pick it up off the porch.
Jeez. Did you get
So,
everything unpacked?
yep, I got it organized because the a bunch of the um sockets popped out of place in the thing. So I went through and fixed it and got them in order. I spent about 20 minutes organizing sockets.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I
Are they
mean,
all in their right spot now?
yes, they are.
Awesome. And do they come in a nice contain? Like, was it in a uh
Oh,
like
it's in a
a
really nice big
like a
box.
toolbox?
Yeah, it came in a box. Everything has its little place marked, and it's one of those air blown mold plastics.
Uh
So
huh.
yeah, but it's really nice, in my opinion. I like it. It was worth
So that
it.
so that means you're going to be doing a lot of work this weekend then.
Oh yes, a lot of work.
Hmm.
Yep.
And what's the weather forecast? I hope it's not going to snow.
It's not supposed to in my area, but it's supposed to be between the 40s and the 50s all
So that's
weekend.
not too bad.
Yeah, it's
No
not too
rain
bad.
or anything. No rain.
Not expected, but if it does, someone can just hike it to Harbor Freight and grab a tarp and we'll be fine.
There you go.
$20
All right.
tarp makes life
Oh,
easier.
oh, definitely. Most definitely. So who's going to do the majority of the work?
Probably Danny. The kids are going to have to help, but Buddy works on a Sunday. So on Sunday, so he won't be able to help Sunday. I told my daughter, "Hey, you're going to be helping. If your brother's not here to help, you're going to be helping." And the look on her face, I'm like, "Yep, too bad. You are going to
Uh-oh.
learn."
Uh-oh. So what will her duties be exactly? Do we know?
Handing tools and parts as asked. How
Oh,
we all start off.
does she know these parts?
She will be learning them as she goes, the same way we all do.
Oh, that ought to make for some interesting
It'll be fun. It'll be like when I
uh-huh.
was
Oh,
growing up. I said the
uh-huh.
3/16, damn it. That's a
Uh-huh.
five
Right,
eighths.
right. On a Phillips screwdriver that I asked for.
I said
Oh, Lord.
Phillips, not Crosshead.
Goodness gracious.
It's going to be the
Ah,
same. And,
yep,
it's like, as everyone learns. That's the way I learned. I'm sure you
yep.
learned in a similar
Yes,
fashion.
ma'am. Yes,
You
ma'am.
start by holding lights, handing tools and parts.
Huh? Yep.
And I finally found a place where I could get the specs for the bolts across the dang thing. But, the problem still is I don't have the full shop manual that I want because, oh, yeah, they don't make the shop manuals for my vehicle. I searched, but you can
Hmm.
find bits and pieces where someone slipped the info into forums. So, yeah, there's that.
I
Hmm.
mean, is there a lot that you need? You know what I mean? Or do you, for the most part, do you know what's going on or what?
Oh, for the most part, I do. But I mean, if when you're going to troubleshoot and there's all kinds of things going on, sometimes it's easier just to grab a book and open it to the
Right,
page
right.
versus having to,
Try to look.
deal with
Right,
Googling it
right,
and all this other stuff. It's like I'd rather have the book on hand
right,
and not have to go on Google to find out if it's a site, and then it turns out the site is shit and it's wrong. Because, like, when
right.
we first Googled what are the torque specs that are needed for the bolts, for the calipers, for the brakes, it said anywhere from 120 to 140. What?
Yeah, that's a big swing.
Yes, it is, especially in something so important. Yeah,
And did you find the correct answer?
yes, I did. I did. And I downloaded the website. I actually just
Okay.
saved the whole website as a PDF
I was gonna say you're gonna need the whole thing.
because it's
Yeah,
everything from the air filter, any specs for the air filter, all the way to the water pump, the bolts that hold things in place. I have all those now. So, woohoo! A little bit less
wow.
headache. But it's
So,
wild because I'm used to just going to a parts store or going online to Hayes or Chilton's and just ordering
right,
the shop manual.
right, right.
No, nope. Turns out that's not the case for quite a few models of vehicles these days. And it's like, why?
Because it would take time, it would take effort on somebody's part to put it together, right?
Well, I mean, they send shop manuals to the garages. You can order them
Right.
for the garage, but I don't have
Mhm.
$475 for a set of 6 books.
Right. Hold on a minute. I have to hit Eric.
Oh,
I
God.
oh yeah, it's a little bit on the ridiculous side how much they went for this stuff nowadays.
Uh huh. Hey, JJ. Boom, just like
Hi,
that. Rex
JJ.
Sisters popped up. I didn't see an upcoming. Yeah, I know we're using OBS instead of EvMux, so I did not have the upcoming together. Um, and it may be that way going forward. We'll see.
What, that you're not gonna have it or what?
Well, the in advance. You know how when I go to EvMux and I set everything up in advance and then just
Right,
connect to that to YouTube and it sends the YouTube link because it's from
right.
that studio. But with using OBS, I mean I could possibly do it with Rumble. Not so much for YouTube because the Rumble Studio is what triggers the YouTube. So I just wait till we go live, and within a few moments, I just send out the notification. But I could
Mhm.
start doing my own upcoming to let people know to watch our channel for notifications and then just go to the channel to go to the live. I could do it that way.
True.
About 10 minutes in advance. And then when we go live, the second notification goes out.
Right.
I could absolutely do that. That's not too complicated.
Give it a shot and see how you like it.
Well, I mean, it's not, for me, it's not complicated. I just set up a pre posted thing in a Word document
Right,
with the link to the channels on YouTube and Rumble and say, hey, we'll be going live in like 10 to 15 minutes and then drop that all out.
right.
So that would possibly work.
That's an option.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the
Okay.
studio 30 minutes in advance, anyways, making sure everything works. So why not?
Right. True.
Hmm.
This be true.
And here I am coming up with new ideas as we go.
Are you? Yep.
So, yeah, there's ways to make it work. It's just a little bit of effort.
Just think of it as your Escalade. That's all.
That escalates. Going to be this entire weekend working. Oh my gosh. That's going to take Saturday, Sunday, and possibly part of Monday. Because Danny now wants to replace the headlights and the taillights all together because he found some cool ones online on Amazon. So that's going to be happening.
Oh my.
Yeah. And he wants
So
to
in other
change out the bulbs to some, well, these are brand new, no fogging from 20 years of being on the road.
right.
So we'll have better headlights. And we also
Yeah.
are getting the windshield wipers, that the
hmm
Rain-X ones for the all
Right.
weather, the really
Yep.
good
They're
ones. We're
nice.
getting the arm,
Yep.
and then all we got to do is replace the rubber strip after that.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah. That's what we have.
I like Rain. We've been using Rain-X for God ever.
I
I
know
mean,
forever,
I've
forever and a
all
day.
that's the only ones I've ever used. I don't like the cheap ones because they fall apart and they scratch the window.
Yep.
So we've always gone with Rain-X, and yeah, $30 for the front alone, the two wipers on the front, and then 15 and change for the one on the back. It's like, ouch.
Uh huh. But they've always been on the expensive side.
But they're oh so good compared to
Uh
the
huh.
other shit.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my God, I will take Rain-X in a heartbeat. And again, we've had them on vehicles where we just kept the arm and replaced the little sleeve, the little
Exactly.
rubber thing.
Yep.
And the
That's
arm
what
will
we
last
do.
forever.
Yep. The only thing I don't like about it is at times the metal like corrodes. So like it comes in, it's black, and
Yeah,
so that black paint kind of dulls and it might chip a
yeah.
little bit. That's the only negative I have. But
You know what you do? You
I mean,
take them off, you grab a can of spray paint,
spray paint and paint them exactly.
gloss
But
them
that's
up.
the only. Yep, that's the only negative I have about them. But they last so much longer than the cheap ones do that
I
is
know.
it any is it any wonder why that they would eventually need to be spray painted?
No, I mean,
So,
I had a vehicle that we put the Rain-X on, and we had this vehicle for a good 6, 7 years before a car accident put it out of commission. And that Rain-X wipers were on it. And I was devastated. They wouldn't let me take the wipers before they took it. I'm like, just let me get the wipers and a
that's
few
pretty
things.
bad.
But yeah, no. I mean, and again, you don't know what your next vehicle's, if it's going to be the right size and stuff. So it was kind of
Right.
stupid. But I mean,
Yeah, but when
it's,
you pay that kind of money, you're like, you want certain things back, right?
well, it's not like it was a brand new when we had the accident, but it was
Right.
still, it would have been nice. And
Right. Right.
I mean, it's still, we do got to still get the sprayer solution situation figured out. And we'll get that, but that's not a priority. But the
Right.
priority is, we got all the brakes parts. We got almost all the tools. The last of the tools will arrive Saturday. Those are the torque wrenches. And we
Mhm.
have the jacks, the jack stands. Oh, we still got to get the wheel chucks so they don't roll. But that's
That would be
20
nice.
bucks up at Harbor Freight.
Right.
So, yeah, I
Thank,
mean,
yeah, thanks,
go ahead.
JJ, for reposting.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you. Yep. Thank you, sir. Yeah, will the wrenches get there in time on Saturday for you guys to still be able to work?
Even we'll still be able to work even if the wrenches aren't here. All we have to do is not tighten, put the Loctite and fully tighten them until the torque wrenches come in.
Okay.
So you can put them in place and then just torque them when it's done. But don't put the
Mhm.
Loctite on. So, get them in place and then thread the bolts with Loctite, torque them down when the torque wrench comes in. And that way it's already in place. You just got to pull the one or two, three bolts, whatever, and then torque it down.
Okay.
So yeah, we can absolutely get everything in place and it'll be fine. And well, like we were saying, we can't bleed the brake line till we get it torqued down. So
Right.
that's fine. That's a 20-30 minute thing. And then Danny's sitting there, well, I'm going to need help. And this, that. And I'm like, I've been helping my dad bleed brakes since I was 5, hanging on the steering wheel, putting all my weight into the brake. Like, seriously? You're going to basically question me on how to bleed brakes? He's like, well, we need the tool so we can see when the fluid's coming. I'm like, you can hold a cup at the screw, and when the air's gone and you get a couple drips, you tighten it until I push the air through again. It's like, come on. He's like, we need the tools to bleed the brakes. I'm like, you mean a screwdriver? And he just looked at me. He's like, no, it's got this little clear hose and all this. I'm like, no, we don't need that. Just get a damn cup and get a screwdriver. We're doing it the old way.
There you go. There you go.
And to
That's funny.
basically make it sound like I don't know what I'm doing. That was great. I've been doing this since I was 5.
That's funny.
So it's time for
Well,
the kids to learn.
yep, and I'm sure it's going to make for some interesting tales come
I
Monday.
may do some audio recording of how this goes.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Oh, it's going to be great. If I get
Uh-huh.
pictures of my kids, they'll want their faces and stuff blurred, but
Well, that's okay. You can blur them. Just
yeah,
the
yeah.
fact that, yeah, it'll be
Get them
pretty
up
funny.
against the vehicle covered in grease with a
Right,
tool.
right, right. That's funny.
I torqued down after all the lug nuts and installing the changing tire. I taught both my boys. Yep, we have an impact driver. It's like what you would use for air, but it's battery operated. I found a battery operated one, so it'll help. But we're still gonna use a torque wrench. And
Right.
of course, he had to get two, a large one and a small one. So yay! But we got everything we need.
You'll,
The Escalade's going to be safe to drive. It's going to be
right.
basically brand new by the time we're
I was
done because
just
we're
going to
going to
say
still
that.
do
Yep.
the tune up and everything in a couple weeks. I mean, this sucker
Right.
is going to be like brand new by the end of this month. I'm
That's good.
like geeked for it. We need to do an oil change on it, but we got almost everything we need to keep up with the vehicle going forward, and I'm getting one of those tool die marks to mark the tools, every wrench, every bolt, everything that he has. All 450 pieces are going to be marked somehow, so no one can borrow it and say, "Oh, that was mine." It's like, no,
Right.
see that little hidden mark that I have there? See this little die thing? Guess what I did?
They go, yeah, the match. Now, going back to your oil change, that's one thing that you'll hear a lot of mechanics and people say that that's probably one of the biggest things doing oil changes and using a good quality oil keeps your
We
car
get the high
running
mileage
longer.
oil because our Escalade's at like we're just hovering under 200,000 miles right now. And I know we
Yeah,
can get another 100,000 out of it.
right.
Impact drivers were essential installing network cables when I was in field work tech. Yep. We
Mhm.
haven't, we, that's one thing we keep around. So, yeah, we're getting our tools, we're getting the supplies, we're getting what's right. Battery powered. Yep.
Can
So
you
we're,
put the Papa chat in, or when this is up, it can't be shown?
it's, no, it's showing on the stream right now, but it's a smaller box in the stream. If you look at the
Hold
stream,
on.
it'll
Yeah, I'm
show it in
looking
the
at it.
corner
I
above
don't
my
see
head.
it. Yeah,
It's really tiny. I
yeah,
hate
hold on.
that. But if I make it any bigger, it's going to
Okay,
take
hold
up
on.
most of the screen.
Okay, I got it. It's okay.
And then I have the chat sitting next to where I'm showing you in Discord.
Yeah, I got it. All right,
So,
we're
yep.
good. All right, we
But
ready to
yeah,
roll? We have
physically,
how many?
mentally, emotionally.
We have what? 23 tabs you said we
No, we
still
got
have to go
less. We're down to 19 because we did 23. We had 23 yesterday. We got through 4 because I couldn't shut up,
through?
and then the tech difficulties. But I really can't shut up sometimes on this stuff. It's like the bullshit. I just gotta call it out.
I hear you.
So
All
yeah,
right. What do you got up first then?
we've got this. Hold on, I gotta get my fingers to work in the studio. We got this thing on Don Lemon, and this is Don Lemon's been arrested by federal agents in connection with the Minnesota church protest. And then what was this? This is that letter from Abel Lowell, basically making Don Lemon sound like the next Martin Luther King,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't stand it. And you sent this over, but I did a brief read on this, and I was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And they have investigated ICE, and they are currently still investigating the ICE shootings. And guess what? It's probably going to be cleared as justified.
Right.
Get over it,
So,
folks.
yeah, so uh Don Lemon was taken into custody by federal agents the other night in LA, where he was covering the Grammy Awards. Boy, he just really gets around, doesn't he?
Yes, he
Don
does.
has been Don has been a journalist for 30 years, and his constitutionality protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he has always done. The First Amendment exists to protect journalists whose role it is to shine light on the truth and hold those in power accountable. There is no more important time for people like Don to be doing this work. Instead of investigating the federal agents who killed two peaceful Minnesota protesters,
Wait,
really?
how is that
Re-
peaceful? Resisting arrest is not peaceful. Trying to run one over with a car is not peaceful.
Thank you. The Trump Justice Department is devoting its time, attention, and resources to this arrest, and that is the real indictment of wrongdoing in this case. This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crises faced this administration will not stand. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court. Well, good luck with all of the footage that is out there
But again, you still got
from
to get a jury from whatever area that isn't
True,
a bunch of woke
bias,
people and
right,
biased. Yes.
right. Well, I'm hopeful. Yeah, am I really? I was, hmm. A
Because when
grand
jury
jury did indict.
selection comes around, yeah, the grand
Oh,
jury
yeah,
did indict, but a grand jury is
right.
only getting one side of the story. And of course, again, even with his side of the story, I was just a journalist, but I brought him coffee.
Hmm.
I mean, watch Nate the lawyer. He's been covering this in detail about how ridiculous this is getting.
Yeah,
It's insane. And dude, I was just there to report. You had a heads up that there was a civil rights crime about to happen.
correct.
What,
And
white
you
people don't have
willingly
rights as well?
right, exactly.
Because that was their target. It was the white people there. They made it clear it was racially motivated.
Right, because they wanted, he said originally that it was white MAGA. And then he
Mm-hmm.
made the statement that they wanted it to appear that when they went in that they were part of the white community,
Mm-hmm.
so that if they were any other race, they would have stood out and been obvious in the white church.
That's not true. Most people in a church don't give a shit what race you are.
Exactly. But they apparently their numbers were probably such that if they would have been any other race, it would have been obvious. Because let's face it, if you're, it, it's highly unlikely that you'd get a large group of people to show up at church on that particular Sunday.
And at
I
that
could
random moment. It's not like they
exactly.
were there from the beginning of the sermon till the end. There's no footage of
Right.
beginning to end. Just them walking in and protesting and interrupting.
Well, but Nakim or whatever the hell her name is, she states that they actually went in and sat down and waited
There
till he
I
did
have
his
not
sermon.
seen footage of
I
it.
haven't seen me neither, but that's her statement is they went in and sat down. He finished his sermon. You know what? Take that back. I don't know if they were actually seated at the time, but I did see a footage of her where she stood up and made that comment, how do you support him? And then she walked towards him, and everybody got up and went to the front of the church. And I'm
Okay,
pretty sure
so
I think we showed that crazy bee in one of the clips, in one
I
of
don't
the,
remember, but then again, I have seen so many damn clips.
yeah,
It's starting
I'm
to blur
pretty,
together.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we showed it as an ex post where like I said, she got up and walked towards the church and made a comment, and she's saying that they waited till after the sermon, which to me, I don't know, kind of, I don't know how they got in there with people not noticing. Like they infiltrated the church, and this group just came in, sat in the back of the church, listened to the sermon, then popped up and said, "Oh, what are you supporting, this racist ISIS person for?" It just seems, like you said, there's not enough footage to show from the time they left the parking lot until
Mm-hmm.
we see her making the statement. Well, we did, yeah, from the time they left the parking lot till they got to the church, what transpired till she
There was
popped
only a
up.
brief bit of footage when Don Lemon was slipping up and they were giving him the looks and like they
Hmm.
thought he was giving out too much info.
Exactly. And then we showed the video where he was in the car,
That was the
and
traveling between
right,
from the parking lot to the
right,
church. Hmm.
correct. And he was in the front seat, and he was talking about being recognized. Remember?
Yep.
But after that, there's really, like, where was he in the church? Where was everybody seated?
Yeah.
We don't see uh, we don't see
If
anything.
yeah, they didn't record the church sermon.
No, they didn't. To my knowledge, I haven't seen any of it.
I
If it's
might
out
have to
there,
do some
yeah,
digging. I might have to do some digging and see if I can find it
yeah. I don't see it because I
because
didn't see anything.
might want to see if I can find his full live stream of that.
I, I've tried to look for it, and I've just found bits and pieces. I have not, even on
Oh,
his
he
own
took it
channel.
down.
I don't know. I've just found, as I said, I have found bits and pieces, some longer than others, but I have not seen the entire start to finish anywhere that he's
Wow.
posted. So he might have padded up and took it down. It could be somewhere, who knows where. I'm sure now that he was arrested, they're going to try to get rid of whatever they possibly can. But at this
But
point,
the internet
it's,
doesn't
it's too
forget.
late. Exactly. Exactly.
People got to understand the internet does not forget. So that'll be
Yeah, there's
interesting.
stuff that, because there's things that, I'll see and I'll be like, this is possibly going to get deleted in the future, or, I might want this for something. And
Screenshots.
yeah, screenshots.
That's how one of my computers went completely missing. I had all kinds of drug trial studies and stuff from the
Yes.
early 2021 and 2020 and a few other things and lots of video footage saved and recorded that has now vanished and it can't be found on the internet and website like a list of websites that were originally where I got
Disappear.
my source, but then all of a sudden it's a Chinese shopping market, but it was not a Chinese shopping market when I downloaded the drug study as a PDF. Yes. Yeah, one of my computers completely went missing because of that. Along with my external drive that was sitting with it that didn't have any of that stuff on it. It was something else.
Hold on 1 second, crazy babe. Come
Yep,
on,
I'm.
Casey. Come on,
It's all good.
come on, come
So
on.
yeah, I know all too well what happens when you don't have stuff in 3 or 4 different places because things go missing when people are not nice and don't like you knowing the truth. And yes, I get called crazy for it, but I believe it. Okay,
Oh
we're
yeah,
live. We're
I've
live.
had many things disappear, and I learned my lesson in how to save stuff.
Okay, can you guys talk in the living room? We're live. Sorry, they got back with dinner.
Okay.
Not just right. Thank you. I'm gonna do my best not to eat these while live, but damn, these are
Let
always
me
good.
pop up the next thing and let me see what we got.
All right. Oh, they overfilled it today. Oh, they love me. Told you. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Next one.
All right. Next one up we have is, and as we stated, some of this information may be redundant at this point for you because so much has transpired. And we're going to try to finish up. Well, it probably looks like we're going to go into Thursday and possibly Friday. We decided that all this work that we've done that we haven't gotten to, we're just not going to let it go anymore and just say, oh, it's done and set it aside. We spend a lot of time uh, pulling things, trying to get things together. Uh, Going after this, we're going to finish up with China and move on to some other things. And we'll try to keep up as best we can. But again, it's just crazy being myself. And we have some help with Blue, help send a lot of things our way. We have other people. Mountain Goddess is one.
Oh
Anybody
yeah.
that's in Board Vanilla is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Art, really anybody that's in the Discord sends us stuff. So
Yep.
if you haven't joined already, feel free to do so. Um, you'll see the bot come through to join. So if you haven't done so, the community is great. And with that, so we have a Fox News video. Um, so he was released last Friday, without bail in LA. And this is Don Lemon now. He was charged with conspiracy to deprive rights in violation of the FACE Act for his alleged involvement in the anti ICE activity that disrupted a Minnesota church service. Now, I'm surprised that the KKK Act isn't thrown in there.
It might be
Lemon,
still. They still have time to put more into it if they need to.
yeah. Lemon's attorney says Don has been a journalist for 30 years, and his constitutionality protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he has always done. Speaking outside the courthouse, Lemon said, I've spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now. He's scheduled for appearance on February 9th. So we'll keep track of that and see what he has to say. That's this what? That's next Monday, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So we'll see what he does on Monday then.
Yep. He's still a dumbass. That's
Big
my
time.
opinion.
Mhm.
Released without bail. Well, it'll be
Well,
interesting.
why wouldn't he be released without bail when we have criminals that have committed,
Far worse.
yeah, way worse, aggravated assault, grapes, and throw
Mm-hmm.
somebody off a train track and you get to walk. We've seen
Mm-hmm.
videos of attacks on the subway system, and nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing ever.
Yeah, yeah, just the most recent attack that was on video up in New York. The guy walked, and I don't understand. He didn't even get a little slap on the wrist. He walked.
Mm-hmm.
So
No probable
make,
cause.
yeah, make it make sense. It doesn't.
It
Does
never
not
will.
make any. Yep. All
And
right. What
that's
you
what
got next?
pisses me off.
I know. Very
Um,
aggravating.
oops. Nope. We don't want this. Um, how do I make it go away?
I don't know.
um,
There we go.
nope.
Nope. Don't want
They
to
want
be
us
there.
to pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, um,
That's-
I don't know what to say. I guess we don't get to use Forbes.
Hmm. That's
That's weird.
interesting. It's very strange because it did pop for us. So okay. Well, we'll
Um,
skip that one.
yep. Well, we'll put it in the link in case you guys do have Forbes. I'll put it in the description and you guys can check it out.
Yeah, they
Um,
might have a couple freebies that you get.
oh, I've left this tab open for like 3 or 4 days. That's probably why.
Okay.
I've had this tab open for a while. That might be why it won't let me see it for free anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay,
up next is Trump, his decision for the federal the head of the head chair of the Fed, the Federal
great.
Reserve. We got that
Yes.
video on it. So let me hit play.
Okay,
For more, let's bring in our next guest, who was among the final four in consideration for the job, and for a time was widely viewed as the frontrunner. NEC Director Kevin Hassett joins us now. Director Hassett, thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here.
Are you disappointed that you didn't get it?
Oh, no, I've got my dream job. You guys have been seeing me say that for months. I think President Trump made a great choice, and I'm really thrilled and humbled by all the kind things he said about me. You know, the bottom line is that the economic team in this White House with Scott Bessent and Howard Lutnick and myself, I think we've been hitting on all cylinders, and it's a really bad time to change teams. You don't change quarterbacks when you're way ahead, and I really have high regard for Kevin. And we're going to put every effort that we have into getting him confirmed as soon as possible so that we can get the Fed moving in the right direction.
You don't wish you did a little worse in all those, television appearances? I mean, the president basically said that he's keeping you where you were so that you can communicate because you had outdone yourself on the communication around the administration's economic policy.
I think we're a very close White House, and we're really thrilled that we're staying where we are.
What is your understanding of what Bush's position and argument and final pitch was for the president?
Oh, I'll let Kevin discuss that himself, and his views on monetary policy and so on. I can say that when the president and I talked about me being a candidate, it was really all about, uh, if I left, then what would happen to NEC and so on. At one point, the president said, "Well, you didn't ask me for the job. You never asked me for the job." And the point is, I said, "Well, I want to do what you want me to do, sir." And that's really the conversation is, well, I want you to stay at NEC. That's pretty much the conversation.
He didn't demand like that you would lower interest rates when you would
We
if you
didn't.
became
I
Fed
guess
chair?
if he had asked me to be Fed chair, then at that point, that conversation might have begun.
No, but people are wondering, what if there are assurances made? I mean, the president has not been shy about what he wants to see for monetary policy.
You'll have to talk to Kevin about that.
What about
Oh,
this
he's being
idea that
tight-lipped on
you've
the
been
policy.
dissecting
you're not
Bush's
kidding.
views in the past, and more recently, he has talked about how the Fed should lower interest rates, but also shrink the balance sheet. Do you agree with
Mhm.
that?
Well, again, I'm going to let him speak for monetary policy, but the thing I can say is that it's our belief in the White House that we're having a massive positive supply shock, the likes of which we haven't seen since the late 90s. And then against that backdrop, you can have high growth without high inflation. And I think that the data
A lot of these
showing us
stores
that.
are still inflating
And I
prices
think
for
that puts a lot of
themselves.
pressure off the
Yes, they
Fed. In fact,
are.
I can sort of say that our job as we look forward to the State of the Union and possible tax legislation this year, our job is to make the Fed's job easy, to lower the deficit, lower the trade deficit, be fiscally responsible, but also keep the supply side forces moving.
I don't know. Does the data really show that we can get high growth without inflation? We got a PPI report this morning that was pretty hot, 3%, higher than
Well,
expectations of 2.7%.
sure.
Core rose to 3.3%.
Right. The PPI number is a little bit different right now than what we're seeing from the CPI. The CPI over the last 3 months, the annual rate was lower than 2. I think that right now we're seeing materials prices like gold and so on are up quite a bit, in part because of all the investment that's happening for artificial intelligence and data centers and so on. And the bottom line is that if we're getting a big supply side shock, then it puts downward pressure on inflation. So if people were taking all these costly materials and consuming them, then it would be a concern for inflation. But if they're going into things that are increasing aggregate supply, it's less of a concern.
Hmm. So things are looking good going forward,
Right,
according to them.
exactly.
But will the stores start and the producers for food and
No,
stuff start going back?
no,
Never.
no. And you know why? Because people are paying the price.
Mm-hmm.
People are accepting shrinkflation. People are accepting the high costs of pretty much all goods.
Mm-hmm.
And I've yet to see any store, any manufacturer say, you know what, we need to go back. We need
I've
to
never
do
seen
what's
it.
right. Never. I've never ever seen it happen. Ever.
Not in my life.
I mean, I even looked today at, I had some things that I ordered come in, and just about every single item, this shrinkflation, and I'll have a story probably next week about it. is just off the chain. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
every single item. Take toilet paper, for example. Let's skim, 10 sheets off of every roll and multiply that by however many, per day, per
Millions.
week. Yeah, millions, right? And what cost savings do we have?
And that is precisely why it's getting insane and it's going to stay insane.
Right.
That's all there is.
I think we didn't last week we talk about the TikTok that's going around regarding um which yeah, what's the Starbucks and their small, medium, and large drinks.
Are basically the same size.
Exactly. So your small drink, when they pour that drink into the medium cup, or they take the big cup and they pour it into the medium to the small, everything is the same size.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, for
It's the
example,
shape of the
it's
cup.
yeah, six to 8 ounces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all they do is add additional ice in.
Mm-hmm.
So it was funny. I sent it over to my son, and he sent me back a note saying, "Hey, mom, your dad taught me this when I was young. That's why he would always order at McDonald's a drink with no ice,
Oh, that's me
just so
too.
that he,
No ice.
yeah, yeah, so that he got the drink. The only thing I don't like about that is then usually you get a warm drink.
I
That's the
can live
only,
with that.
yeah. I mean, you figure you're buying, you know, a large drink is how much now?
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, it's the same size as if you'd buy a small.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
McDonald's doesn't care.
That's why they always put the ice in first. When they fill
Right.
it 3/4 of the way
To the
with
top.
ice
Yeah, or to the
or
top.
higher, and
Yep.
then the soda in it. Yep.
Hmm. And if you get a sip or two, okay, we'll say 3 sips, consider yourself lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's just about toilet paper, cereal, bread.
Cereal
Just
boxes have gotten smaller and higher in price.
oh my gosh. I mean, it is outrageous how much a
Mm-hmm.
box of cereal cost. It is absolutely outrageous.
Yep. And that's why
You
we
know,
buy the bag cereal, and we don't do it
yeah,
often.
right. And if you have children, young children, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, particularly boys, I can remember my parents would buy that 5-gallon tub of peanut butter,
Yep.
and my brothers could have that gone. 2 loaves of bread and that peanut butter could be gone like
2 days
the bread.
tops.
Yeah, the bread would be gone automatically in a day, right? The peanut butter possibly could last 4 days, maybe, if you're
Mm-hmm.
lucky. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what they used to do. And I mean, we would do things like and I don't see it anymore. But the breads, the for example, Town Talk bread, they would have a bakery that would be day old, 2 days old worth of
Mm-hmm.
product. You could get pie, cake, buns, hot dog buns, hamburger buns, any kind of bread. And
Yeah.
there would be lines to get into this place.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see that anymore.
When I lived in Michigan, there was an Entenmann's store
Yes,
where
I
the
know it.
stuff was defective or past date but still good from the
Right?
factory and stuff, and they would just deliver it there and get it at a really discount price.
Hmm. And that's another thing you brought up about the expiration date is that is supposedly, and we can look into that.
It's
That is
bullshit.
exactly, especially with your canned good products, where
Mm-hmm.
they use the best buy date, expiration date. It's nothing but a ploy for you to get in your head that, oh my gosh, this product is now defective because it's a
Nope.
year out of expiration or a year out of best
If it doesn't
use.
have mold and the seal
Yes,
isn't broken, it's still good.
that's correct. And that goes for up to possibly 20 years. For a
Mm-hmm.
canned good product as long as there's no defective marks on it.
Shit, I've had pickles that were 10 years old. It's still good. They're still
Mm-hmm.
pickles. They're still yummy.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
mean,
just
it's
sealed and
nothing but,
nothing can get in
yeah,
there to break it
right,
down, so
right.
eat it.
But it's just a ploy for you to get rid of it, throw it away, throw the product away, and go and purchase more.
Yep.
It's all
I
it's
had a
all for
long debate with my daughter about that. She wanted me to throw out all my seasonings that were over a year expired. I'm like, is there
hmm
mold? No. Then they're fine. It's a seasoning.
hmm
It is a ground herb that has been dried out. It's good.
right. Yep.
hmm
So how'd we get from Dawn Lemon to talking about seeds?
Oh, because we were just talking about inflation and all
I
that.
know, but I'm just saying we really went off there, but it kind of correlates. Lemon, he has seeds, and so we're talking about seeds. So
Yeah.
any, yeah, uh-huh. All right, what you got? What you got? What do you got next?
I believe this is on the Luigi Mangione situation.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Thompson. Number one, Luigi Mangione will not face the death penalty if a jury convicts him of Thompson's murder. Second, despite a dogfight by his attorneys to keep Mangione's backpack out of evidence before a jury, we've now learned that backpack can stay in as evidence and a jury
Good.
will see it. So let's go live to CBS News legal reporter Katrina Coughlin. Katrina, what's behind these rulings?
Reed, when it comes to the two charges that have been dismissed, what the judge says, and it's a little bit complicated, is that the murder and firearms related charges, which carried the weight of the death penalty, those got dismissed. In order to stay in and keep the death penalty, they relied on the two stalking charges that do remain on being considered what's called a crime of violence. And the judge said that under federal law, while it may seem antithetical to some, since clearly there is a charge where a murder was committed here, that those stalking charges don't technically meet the definition of a crime of violence. As a result, she dismissed those two other charges. The death penalty is now off the table, Reed, but Mangione still could face life in prison. Now, when it comes to the backpack, she's going to allow the contents of his backpack to be let in as evidence at trial. Her reasoning behind that is she says that there are certain exceptions to getting a warrant that would apply here, including something called the inevitable discovery doctrine, that in the lawful conduct, the search, that these ultimately would have been discovered through other procedures. So the fact that they didn't have a warrant necessarily, ultimately it becomes a moot point.
So this lawyer is trying to push them to get a warrant for the backpack.
Yes,
Really? He was arrested with it on him.
allegedly, it was
Oh my
on him.
god.
I mean, all of this just blows my mind, and this is a prime example of what we just talked about, where somebody, unalives somebody, and
hmm
it's just a judge decides we're taking it off the table. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, he was obviously stalking the guy, and this was planned out for a while. I mean,
I,
I
I,
don't
I,
know.
neither do I. It's frustrating as all heck.
It is.
I mean, explain how it seems like you can just walk up to anybody, do whatever to anybody, and you just get to walk. That's what it feels like.
It is wild that a lot of people are getting away with it. But other
hmm
people get overcharged on things. They will find every little charge and hold it against them.
Right.
hmm
And again, typically it's the right that is getting the overly charged.
hmm Oh, speaking of that, it just triggered a memory. There was a reporter who was arrested by Biden for being at the J6 thing, and I got to find the footage of it. Um,
Okay.
so Don Lemon's argument is BS because there was a reporter, from January 6th that got reported just for recording it and reporting it.
Okay. See if you can find it. We'll play it.
Okay. Sorry, it just popped into my head out of the blue. But yeah, back to this. How can they sit there and call this justice?
I I'm at a loss. I truly am. I mean, this is where what have we become with these judges that are now making the decision before there's even the trial?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was the jury's responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Guess we're
It is
wrong.
it is really bad. It's gotten out of hand.
Hmm. And nobody seems to want to rein it in.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the responsibility of who? The Supreme Court, right?
Yep.
Roberts.
Yeah, JJ, I just read the comment. I'm sorry, I don't know why the volume is that low, but it's just the way it was. Um, I apologize. But yeah, and then you get these lawyers with these obscure bullshit situations that they somehow weasel in and get things cleared. And our court system has become so insane with all the loopholes that people find and have nothing better to do. It's just it's gotten out of hand. It really
Yeah.
has.
There's nobody's responsible for anything anymore,
Except the good, we're hardworking people.
right?
Mm-hmm. We're the bad ones. Go figure. All right, let me hit
Uh,
play. I have to pause it because I don't want CBS to come at us again.
right.
So both a good and a bad day for Luigi Mangione. On the plus side, the death penalty is off the table, but the contents of that backpack will be let in. That includes a firearm and a notebook with some writings that are very key to the prosecution case for you.
All right, and speaking of that case, so what comes next? Because we know it took us weeks of argument in court just to get these two findings.
That's right. I mean, basically, next we're going to be leading up to this trial. The sides are going to be doing procedures that work towards putting together a jury questionnaire. Ultimately, that jury selection should take place on September 8th read. If this is no longer a capital trial, the trial will take place in October. The judge that said next week she's
Of
going to reach out and
2020.
Yeah, September of this
20,
year.
are you kidding me? And then they wanted Trump to have that quick turnaround time. Jack Smith wanted him to have his trial within weeks.
Uh-huh.
And they had millions of pages of documents that needed to be, for discovery. And they wanted Trump to jump through frickin' hoops. And this
Uh-huh.
goes till September or October? Seriously?
And that's just till jury selection.
Right. So the
In the
trial
meantime,
probably isn't going to be till
till next year.
2027.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And the murder was what, a year ago?
Yeah, something like close to it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's our
One
justice
more.
system. But here's what CNN had to say on it.
Go ahead, you can read it.
Um, it's saying he will not face the death penalty for the 2024 killing of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare.
So wait, that was 2024. So that was
December of
December.
2024, so a year
So
and a couple months.
yeah, so this December will be 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Judge dismissed the murder charge and the federal indictment, which was the only count in any of the cases brought against him that could carry the possible death penalty. So what was it? If it wasn't murder, what was it?
Yeah, for real.
Please tell me, what was that? Walked up to the guy and shot him point blank. Is not murder?
A little love tap, perhaps.
I mean, come on.
Well, this is what I'm talking about, Crazy B. When things are obviously, and we turn around and we use the words alleged. We had two violent crimes that occurred on subways up in New York, and they were quite obvious of what was done to the victim,
Uh-huh.
but yet they both walked for the same type of reason here. Why?
Hmm. Hmm. 2 counts of stalking. That's it. He pulled a gun on the guy and shot him. It's not murder. Make that make sense.
It's frustrating.
The only thing they want to charge him with is stalking?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Well, and then we're talking about Don Lemon and everything that transpired there. He's a journalist, don't you know? 30 years. What exactly does that mean? And what exactly is your argument? So what, you've been doing it for 30 years. That doesn't give you a pass on your
Yeah.
behavior, right? But that's what they've done. That's what they're saying. Because I've been this for 30 years, you have to let me go because I've been this.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit.
Identity politics.
Oh, my head's
Mm-hmm.
starting to pound.
Oh, I know. Just thinking about it makes my head hurt. It really does. But yeah, they're the judge disagreed, finding the stalking charges did not amount to crimes of violence, and dismissed 2 counts in Mangione's federal case, the murder charge and related firearms offense.
The last time I knew that I did crime statistics, stalking was up there as a crime. It was not just a little, oh, I'm following you. I'm really
Mm-hmm. Stalking is
is
a
the
big
judge.
crime.
What's this judge's name again? Is it in here?
Um, yeah, hold on. It's at the top. Margaret Garnett.
2 R's or 1 R?
One.
GA or okay.
And
Let me
2
go see.
T's at the end.
Okay, let me go see if I can find my girl.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Send it over. I'll put it up. Art
Yeah, let me see.
says it's possible for judge to dismiss the case on certain charges. A motion to do so is always filed by the defense, but it was almost never granted. And he says the timing of the trial is mostly up to the defense. The defendant has to waive a speedy trial requirement. You can force the DA to try you very quickly, but it's generally not a good idea.
Okay, I'm looking for a picture of her. Hold up. I found her, but mm. Let me send this one piece over, Crazy B. You can at least get started on her. And while I
Okay.
see if I can find a picture, okay? Hold up. Do-do-do-do.
I'm not thrilled with it. I'm really not. Again, it was a very premeditated murder. What do you mean it's not a murder charge? I just don't get it. Hold on, folks. Be patient with me. Um, hold up. I gotta pull this down for a second, and then I can put it back up. Be patient. Because we didn't have this in advance.
Is that
And
yeah, Crazy B, yeah, is it Garnett, or is there an N or no?
Garnett.
Okay,
Garnett.
that's it then. Yeah, that's it then. Okay.
Yep, this is her. Let me open this again and work. Okay, so this is what you just sent me. Let me drop this in the show notes too. Oops. Nope, that wasn't the show notes. They're there. Okay. So she's from the Southern District of New York. Courtroom 906. She went to Notre Dame, Yale again, and Columbia Law back in New York. Career history. It
have
doesn't
to
say how
laugh.
long she's been a
He,
judge.
he, I have to laugh. Mangione says that he's not guilty.
How? It's literally on security footage. Whoops, sorry, my hand bumped the mouse. It's literally on security
But they're
footage.
saying that it was a masked gunman. So how do they know it was him?
The same way the masked people from January 6th were identified.
Mm-hmm.
Magic. Oh. If I recall, New York has a really weird murder statute, so it's possible one form of the charge may not actually apply. Okay. See, I don't know much about law in general, but to me, you took a person's life that was not in self-defense. It's murder. That's the way I see it. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't self-defense. You walked up and you shot the guy.
Here's well, of course it would be from one of our favorite foreign,
Al Jazeera.
the Hinduist time.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hindustan.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me close that. I gotta hide Google while I pull it up. Give me a moment.
And I don't know how much coverage. There might be a little bit more that we could drop in the show notes so that they have it.
Okay. All
I
right, let
still
me
wish.
pull it back up.
Yeah, let me see if I can get a picture of her.
I mean, they did a painting picture of her.
Yeah, I think I got her. Hold on Wikipedia. Yep, here we go.
All right, let me pull it down one more time so I can pull that in.
Okay,
Sorry,
there you go.
folks. This
Yep,
is what
we're
happens
doing
when we
live.
go as we go.
Yep, when we're doing live research. See,
Hide that.
initially we were okay with all of this, and then when you start talking about them, uh, we want to know a little bit more about who these people are, and start to spread the word of the messaging.
Oh, come
So I
on,
just sent you
hands.
her, yeah,
I got it.
the Wikipedia. Okay,
So I've got the Hindustan time ups first.
okay.
Let me add these to the show notes really quick. The last two you sent. Oops, I put that in the wrong spot. My bad. I gotta move it. I accidentally put it under Don Lemon. My bad. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now it's in the show notes. So she's basically known for this only. She doesn't really stand out as a judge from what I can see.
Right.
She's ruled that the federal prosecutors cannot seek the death penalty. It's basically going through the same thing. The jury selection is scheduled to begin on September 8th. Wow.
And what do you do by that time when the
Everybody's already
majority
paid
of
attention
people?
to this
Yeah, exactly.
and made up their minds in advance. I would be a bad juror for
Right.
this.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, I use logic. And
The
depending
funniest
on their law,
the funniest thing that ever happened to me was I'd have to go to court to testify that the records were the records. Okay.
oh my
So
God.
I was pregnant with my youngest, and I had to go to court with the chief of police had to be there as well, right? So we met at the courthouse, and as luck would have it that day, there was a trial going on in another courtroom regarding abortion rights. Okay.
Uh huh.
And reporters came up to me believing that I was not permitted to get an abortion, and therefore I was there, like 8 months pregnant. And they wanted to know, they wanted to know how they stopped me from getting an abortion. It was the wildest thing that day. One of the craziest courtroom dramas I ever had.
And that wasn't even
Mhm.
why you were there.
Uh-uh. I was there with the chief to talk about a totally separate case, but they thought because I was pregnant that I was forced to carry this child and I had really wanted an abortion.
No,
Hmm.
you really wanted your child.
Yep. Funny as all hell.
And they talk about everyone else stereotyping. Wow, that was a
Uh-huh.
really bad one.
Yep. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Hmm.
It's like, were you here for this case? No. Okay, bye.
Right. But that it wasn't what was said.
No, they stopped you from
It
having
was
an
more like,
abortion.
yeah,
What?
like, oh my God, you were here. You couldn't have an abortion. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. That was one of the wildest things.
Oh my
Yep.
God. Art says, I have been a bad juror for many, many years because I know way too much about how the system works and I can spot the
Uh-huh.
games the professionals, the prosecutor and the defense are playing. Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I got blessed with being medically disqualified. Even though I didn't
Hmm.
show up for the jury selection like I was supposed to, the letter came in after way later. They dated it from before that, but I got it after the fact. But I still blanked on it and completely forgot. I was supposed to be there January 26th, so I apologize. Don't come arrest me, even though I'm exempt. I do apologize. I meant to be there. I just absolutely, with my health,
Well,
I forgot.
what was funny was, so you were the second person that I knew that got a jury summons, and then I turn around and I got one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had the discussion, what do I do? And it was, you know, I am disqualified for health reasons.
Yep.
However, would have fought to have gone just to stir shit up. Uh-huh.
But you probably would have gotten a he owes me $500 million case.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would have probably been there for, months
Mm-hmm.
on end. And then, could you see me? Excuse me, Your Honor, it's time for my medication. Excuse me, Your Honor, I have to use the restroom. Excuse me, Your Honor, it's time for me to eat. I don't eat 3 meals a day. I eat like probably grazing 10 times a day. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, I'm tired of sitting here. Do you think we could bring a hospital bed in so I could lay here?
Your Honor, I can't breathe.
Yeah,
Or you just have one of those pass out moments from your blood pressure change. And
exactly.
then that's
Yeah.
really going to be entertaining.
Uh-huh. It'd be like calling 911 and not knowing
You
what
wake
to
up like,
do.
oh, what? A few seconds later,
Yep.
you're back up.
Yep.
What? What's going on? They think you're sleeping
Uh,
over there, and
yep.
someone next to you is nudging you, and then you just kind of fall
Uh-huh.
over.
Oh, that would have been funny.
um, Art said this judge, "Good morning, Art. I don't suppose your view has changed. Your views have changed, so you're dismissed. Counsel, please approach."
funny.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? It is so great
Mhm.
being the people who have good
Have
opinions and use logic and stuff like that, but still not being able to do the jury duty the way you want to
right.
because, well, I mean, it is my civic duty. I'm a voter. I'm a registered voter. I have to do jury duty stuff. But yeah, no, I can't because my back hates me.
Hmm.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
You know,
But
if
go
they're
ahead.
gonna accept if they're gonna accept uh that you can vote via the internet and things like that, why can't we participate as a juror via a Zoom call?
Too much risk of
Uh,
outside interference. You're in your home, someone sitting next to you has a gun to your head and they can't see it.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot
Wow.
of reasons that I
Oh,
think that I
oh,
could
it's
come up
okay.
with.
It's okay that you shoot somebody point blank and it's on video, but yet I can't be on a Zoom call because somebody might have a gun to my head. Okay, make that make sense.
Jury tampering. It's jury
Mhm.
tampering.
But okay,
But that would be interesting. Someone's robbing your house. You're like, hold on, I got to log in for jury duty.
right. Mm.
No, there was one. I was watching
Right.
one court case. This is kind of on topic. The guy was ordered to like the girl had a restraining order against him, but he showed up anyways. She couldn't get him to leave. Couldn't get to the phone to make the to call the cops. He showed up for the court via Zoom from her living room, and the
Oh, wow.
lawyer called it out, and he ended up going to jail.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a domestic violence situation, and he was not supposed to be there. She couldn't safely get him out or get anyone to get him out. And when they both logged in for Zoom, the lawyer noticed and called it out, and the police showed up at the door to get him. She
Oh,
had already
wow.
brought up, gotten the message to the police to show up to get him from her house, and the police were basically waiting at the door.
Wow.
Hmm. It's one of those weird situations that you just get stuck in. But the chick luckily was able to. I don't know how she got the lawyer figured it out, or if she messaged the lawyer through Zoom in a private way, because you can message in the side,
Right.
and I wonder if maybe that's how it was done. But it was great. I don't mean to yell because the court wants to control you, control what you see and hear in relation to the case. That's why you have to hear the case in court. What are you taking all my tweezers for? No, those aren't tweezers for facial hair. Those are tweezers for electronics. Yes, it is. My daughter just stole my tweezers for doing electronics and took them to the bathroom for personal grooming.
Well, they're multitaskable tweezers.
No, these are specialized tweezers that have been demagnetized so you can use them to hold wires while you're soldering to a motherboard.
Or what are you soldering in bed for?
What are you doing? They fell out all over the place. And I'm in the middle of a podcast. What are you doing? I don't know. Why do you need them? Later. Give me like another 45 minutes, okay? I'm so sorry. My daughter rarely does this. But she literally just grabbed all my tweezers that are meant for working on electronics and getting the little fine, small areas that you can't get your fat fingers into and dragged them off to the bathroom.
Like I said, can't they be used to multitask?
No, because they could end up like magnetized. If they get too close to a magnet or something, they can end up being remagnetized. Like, there's a reason they're demagnetized and you keep them away, and you don't want static and other debris getting on it, and you're trying to. I'm going to have to clean them and hide them in a better spot so she can't find them.
There you go. Or how about buying her own pair?
Danny just said it's like the 8th time he's brought my tweezers back in here. Nope, I will take your daughter as well as your son for a second, Crazy Bee. Oh, God. My kids, I love them to death, as you can tell. Anyways, back on task. We were pointing her out her Wikipedia. God,
Right.
I can't quit laughing because she just comes in and starts grabbing shit. Oh my God. I need to have a video camera recording what she does. But then she'll
That's
stop
funny.
doing it.
Right.
So she has served as a law clerk from 2005 to 2017. She was an assistant U.S. attorney in the U.S. Attorney's Office from New York. So she's always been in New York, is what it looks like.
Right.
Um, so she didn't even get to her position till like 2021, it looks like. Hold on.
No, May of 2023.
She was the deputy of the United States Attorney for Southern
Right.
District from
In
May
2024.
2023 to 2024. She served as a special counsel for the United States Attorney in that same district. So when did she become a judge?
And how she got that case?
Hold on, let me look at this closer.
She go over to her where her picture is under. She was appointed
In
January
2024.
9th, January 9th of 2024. So she's only been a judge for 2 years. Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm not saying she's not capable, but I question a lot. And her only notable ruling was from January 30th. That's the only notable ruling in all those years that she's been, well, 2 years that she's been a judge. Wow. Oh, she was appointed under Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And oh, Chuck Schumer recommended her.
Yes.
Wow, now we understand a lot. Okay. I understand a lot more now.
Yeah. I mean, and this is what I'm saying. This is what we're dealing with these judges.
Mhm. It's gotten pretty out of hand. That is an
You know.
understatement.
So, all right, why don't we move on, Crazy Bee, and we'll leave these in the show notes.
Description. Yep.
Yeah.
Next up, we have this chick. Please put it in the fridge. Why are you making my life complicated? I don't want the fork. I'm going. Just stop. God help me. Video just in shows federal agents surrounding the home of Minnesota activist Georgia Fort, who masqueraded as a journalist as well while attacking a St. Paul church. Really?
Now the agents are outside her door, and
Yeah,
she
you
is
see the guy
recording
right
them.
there.
Yes, they've surrounded her home.
She can't leave. Let me see if there's any audio to this. I don't think
There
there
should
is.
be. Yeah, there should be.
Oh, audio's up. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, well, this is really scary. There's kids in the house. You guys have not been really friendly in the community. Hold up. No one gave a shit when the feds started busting down doors on J6ers and showing up and arresting them in a very similar or worse fashion. How's she going to sit there and say, this is scary? My kids, the ATF is more scary than the FBI when it comes to this stuff.
Right.
I'd be more worried if it was the ATF. We know what they do to dogs and other people. Yeah.
To me, this seems a little. Can I finish, sir? Can I finish? Can I finish?
Get your phone.
This seems a little bit aggressive to have all these cars in our cul-de-sac. 2, 3 agents, and now I saw the one disappear to the back.
2 or 3 agents is too much. Has she seen what the FBI has done before, where it's a 10-person squad?
And they bust the door down.
And they run in and they have guns pointed at everybody?
Uh,
They're knocking at your door. Seriously?
and she's hollering from
Upstairs
it
in a
appears.
big
Yeah, exactly.
home. Look at
Yeah,
how big that home is.
right.
Like, just from where she's at, that's massive. Yeah, and they said
And
3
she's
people,
afraid.
and she's
Right. She's
afraid.
afraid. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Because it is racial.
Uh-huh.
To me, this is a little aggressive to just serve a warrant.
They're not there to just serve a warrant.
They're there to arrest your ass. You didn't seem to care. She didn't seem to care when she was
And
at the
that,
church.
to me, what I have been told, is not a judicial warrant that has.
It is a judicial warrant, my dear. It is.
Oh, poor kitty cat.
There were children in that church when they were screaming Nazi in their faces.
Yes.
Yeah, the DEA agents gave her so much more leniency than she deserved, but they got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just complying, she argues.
I love this. I think this. I left that deliberately for you. I didn't want to send it to you because I knew you would die when you. I think this is hysterical.
That was good. That was a good one. That's getting a heart from me. Hold on. There we go. Oh my God, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't play the victim to the circumstances you created. Yes. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. I'm sorry, that's great. That's great. Are they talking out a dog door? Is that a person
I'm not.
hanging out the window? Like, what was that?
I don't know.
Let me back this up and pause it. What? Oh, it's a window. It's like a small window.
Oh wow.
Okay. I'm like, is that a second-story dog door or something? And who's hanging out like that? Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm a little overtired. Okay, so you said something I think about who is she? Nope,
Yeah.
now we're going on to another topic actually. This is all you said
Yeah.
on
There
her.
wasn't that much. Yeah. There wasn't at the time that we were looking. There wasn't that much. There could be something right now, but as we stated, we're not adding to the mix right now. We just want to get done what we have and move
Yep.
forward.
Okay, next up I saw JD Vance something. I don't know. Did I let me hit play. I'm trying to remember if we
Yeah,
covered this.
we covered this.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then it was this one that we needed to get to from Maze.
Okay.
Oh God, my brain.
Yeah,
So
this was from. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh no, I was just like, if you want to read it, go right ahead.
Okay, this is from October of 2010. Obama's Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano announces the administration's record-breaking immigration enforcement statistics for fiscal year 2010. Crazy B, I think there's a video that goes with this if you scroll down.
Oh,
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead, play this. Yeah, listen to
Instead of
this.
reading the transcript.
We are here today to announce our progress on immigration enforcement over the past year. But before I give you some of the numbers, I'd like to step back and provide some context to our immigration and border security efforts as a whole. Since the beginning of the administration, we have really, I think, strengthened the federal government's approach to immigration enforcement, both at the border but also in the interior of the country. We have deployed unprecedented infrastructure, unprecedented technology, manpower, particularly along the southwest border, including more than 17,000 Border Patrol agents and 1,200
That's a scary number. How could there be so many? There should be none now.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
National Guard.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I have not seen this video being played anywhere else.
Yep.
You know, this video right here should be at the forefront of anything that any
Any
Democrat,
arguments?
any argument, thing that the Senator Chuck Schumer has to say, any, Ilhan Omar, all of them, every single one, this video needs to be played over and over and over again.
Art says that he had heard Obama included people who were turned away at the border as deportations. He's not sure it actually deported that many, if that's the case.
Correct. I heard that as well, Art, and I don't remember where I saw that figure at. I don't
Might
know if
have to
that's
dig it
something
out.
we have upcoming or where it's at, but I've seen it. I might have it somewhere, so we'll dig for it.
Yes.
But he basically considered somebody that they just got there at the border and turned them away. He counted them as being deported.
Because he wanted to look like he was tough on deportations and the border.
Exactly.
But Trump actually does the
Is
job.
doing the right, and he's bad guy. Orange man bad.
It's just because his name is Trump and the media decided he was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because, our politicians are corrupt and he wanted to end that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. This will be an interesting few years.
Currently stationed at the southwest border. So I am very pleased to be standing here with our colleagues today to say that as a result of this new strategic approach in fiscal year 2010, Immigration and Customs Enforcement has indeed, as the Assistant Secretary said, broken a number of records. First, in fiscal year 2010, ICE removed more than 392,000 illegal aliens, the most removals or the highest number of removals in our nation's history, and over 23,000 more than fiscal year 2008.
And note, I want everybody, Crazy B, note she said illegal aliens.
Yep.
She did not say illegal immigrants.
Undocumented, blah, blah, blah. Every nice wording to make it sound less bad than it is.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
We
use the definition as determined by Congress.
Yep.
Illegal aliens. You don't like the word? Take it up with Congress, with your representative.
Yep. And I'm sure there will be people who do that.
Oh, I'm sure they have, but I mean, it's going on, what now, 16 years that we've been hearing the terminology?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right.
Of these removals, more than 195,000 were convicted criminal aliens. That is itself another record. That, to give you some context, is 70% more criminal aliens than were removed by the previous administration in fiscal year 2008. These record-breaking statistics in 2010 build on the historic work that we began in 2009. ICE has significantly increased the audits of employers and the prosecutions of employers who repeatedly and egregiously hire illegal workers. Since January of 2009, ICE has audited more than 3,200 employers suspected of hiring illegal labor. It has debarred 225 companies and individuals, meaning they cannot participate in federal contracts, and it has imposed approximately $50 million in financial sanctions. This is, by way of, again, context, more than the total amount of audits and debarments during the entire previous administration. Now, of course,
Wow.
none of this could have happened without our state and local law enforcement partners and our dedicated ICE employees. And we're going to be able to do even more because Congress recently passed, in a bipartisan way, a $600 million supplemental that had first been.
Wow.
Wait, Congress
And
didn't
now,
have a problem
wait,
supporting ICE?
no, no, and now they want to shut the government down. Well, they already had a partial shutdown that had to do with they don't want to fund DHS, CBP. Uh,
Wait, in just a few years?
oh, 16
Wow.
years. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
yeah, that gave a little bit of time, I think, for some people, uh, more socialists, I guess, to get into office.
Wow.
They then realized they lost the black vote, and so they thought that they were going to bring in Hispanics. But as we've outlined and shown, the Hispanic population tends to lean more towards being
Conservative.
conservative. Yeah,
Yes.
so
And
they
a lot of
flipped
people get
on
mad
that.
about that.
Yes, they do. So what did they do? They opened it up to the world, and that's why we have 185 countries
Uh-huh.
with illegal aliens in the United States. When
Yep.
the law of the world states that you stop at the first safe country, you don't swim across the ocean to get to the United States, you
Well,
don't take a boat.
Biden took that back, the stay in a safe country thing.
Oh, he did?
Biden undid
Okay.
that. Yeah. That was
Well,
that Article 42 he kept fighting about over.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it kind of yeah, it sucks when your own government
turn
sabotages the country.
exactly. Yes, that's right. That's exactly what they've done.
They
And
sabotaged
the
it.
right. And the problem here is that they don't, with the right to vote, they actually count the census. How many people are counted in the census determines which your representation is. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, you have all these people that possibly are illegal aliens that are Somalian in Minnesota. Their bodies are going to be counted for the right to get representation. So it's possible they could get another congressperson or
I
they could
think
get
that's
another
wrong.
senator. Well, that's the law. That's how it was written uh, for the census way back when in the beginning that bodies were counted. Said nothing about having to be a U.S. citizen for the count of the census.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that they've been working on, trying to get that changed. But you know that's going to go, I think, by the wayside. I have a story with Senator John Thune, who is the majority leader in the Senate. I think he's another puke like Mike Johnson. He's done absolutely jack shit as far as moving any bills or anything through the Senate. I think he's
Yeah.
useless. Um, and so he has done in my opinion, a piss poor job of trying to get the SAVE Act passed. And that would
Yep.
require you to have a photo ID as well as proof that you are an American citizen in order to be able to vote in elections.
And I think that's
Now,
smart.
so do I. What person in their right mind would object to that?
Someone who's scamming
What's
the system, corrupt, or just wants the votes and is going to,
do
their own
whatever? Yeah,
constituents are sick of them, so they had
right.
to get votes from somewhere.
That's correct.
And let's not forget the
And
dead who
so,
don't get a say in who they vote for.
correct.
I mean,
Yeah, well, they're collecting their Social Security check, so are they
yeah,
really
there's
that
that
upset?
too.
They're not really that upset, I don't think. They've been collecting it, for an additional what, 150 years at least. Uh,
Art said something. We didn't really have any immigration policy until somewhere in the late 1800s. If I think you're right about that, and that's why the census is written the way it is.
right?
Okay, I've only partaken in one census in my life, so
Yeah.
yeah, there's that.
Well, there's one coming up, and there's been a lot of arguing of how exactly questions will be asked. Uh, Again, I find it extremely funny, like at the DMV, the question is, and it was extremely complicated. You were supposed to do it by yourself, but the employees there actually told you, depending on what your answer was, how to hit the buttons. So it just wasn't like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. It was like 9, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. The really random type numbers that you had to use uh, to answer questions. And one of them is, are you a US citizen? I want to know exactly how many people say no.
A lot,
I
I
don't know about that.
guarantee. Oh no, you
I don't
said
know.
no. I thought you said yeah. I'm sorry, my
Right.
brain jumped
No.
to you. Marked
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. No. How many
Honest
people say
people, honest people, but
perhaps?
that's few and far
But I would,
between.
don't you think that the majority of people, when you ask them that question, that they would be afraid to give you the answer? How many people would honestly say, no, I'm an illegal?
Well,
And
that's not just
perhaps,
for illegals. No, this is for people who are on tourist visas and
right,
are
I
here
get
for a
that.
long time and get a
Right.
driver's license here or whatever. I
Right.
mean, there's going to be people who say no, I'm not a US citizen, and they have their documentation ready to prove where they're
Right.
from, what's going on.
Right. I get that. But
But I
other
do see
other
where you're saying that there's a lot of illegals who have gotten driver's licenses and stuff who
licenses,
probably
correct.
just said yes so it couldn't be tracked.
And proof of that is how many where the DOT, the Department of Transportation, identified a huge portion of
Mm-hmm.
illegals with CDL licenses.
Yep. And my ex sister in law called today. The insurance tried skyrocketing again in
Yeah.
price, almost
Yes.
doubling what it was. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
And I told her, I bet it's because of all the accidents and stuff that are caused, and they're trying to
That's
compensate
correct.
somehow.
And remember what I said. We talked about medical, and I said it
Mm-hmm.
about drivers, any type of insurance.
Yep.
Insurance companies will never lose money if they can help it. They're going to make it up one way or another. And
Yes, they
people
are.
that are paying for their car insurance right now, you're paying for people who have had accidents who do not have insurance.
Yep.
The insurance company is not paying that invoice out of the goodness of their heart. They are going to divvy that $2,000 up between all of their people, and it might jack your rate up a couple pennies to a couple, $20 here, $20 there. They are going to make their money up, and
Somehow.
that's what they're doing now. Prices are out of control. I mean, we're driving a 2009, and I don't even want to tell you how much money we're paying in car insurance. And I've shopped around. Everybody's pretty much the same. And the
Yeah.
thing is, with an older vehicle, um, if you're in an accident, all you're going to get is the blue book value. You're not going to get, like we have, I only have probably 62,000 miles on the vehicle. Uh, my uncle had given it to us, so we got rid of everything else that we had. And to know that if somebody damaged that, if we were in an accident, that we would only get the blue book value. When you take a look at what the car looks like with everything that it has, the
Hmm.
low mileage and that, I would never be able to replace that vehicle. And you can't buy more insurance than what it's worth.
Yep.
Companies don't do that. Same way you can't do that on your homeowner's policy. You get what the value of the home is. You don't get to say, I want $1 million policy on a $250,000 home. It doesn't work that way.
Art said Florida was another state that caught him off guard with it being one of the largest offenders for the
Yes,
CDLs.
yes. Florida was one of the biggest. Well,
Like,
California actually was the one that gave out the majority of the licenses.
but Florida was up there with that.
Yes,
Florida
yes,
wasn't far behind.
right.
Yeah. You can get an
There
appraisal
were,
and refuse to accept Blue Book value.
uh, we've tried that.
They wouldn't let you?
Nope. Multiple, and I don't know if that's different per state, different states, just like health insurance could be different. Maybe it is different, but I'm telling you, I've looked at multiple insurance carriers in the state of Pennsylvania, and we were never able to buy more than what the value of the car was worth.
I think it's after the accident that you can do that.
Uh,
Or if there no, even if you don't have an accident, because the collector's cars, the classics and stuff, they don't go
well,
by Blue Book value for that.
well, hmm, I have to. It's been a while since I looked at that. In Pennsylvania, you have the option. If you get a classic plate, there are rules on how many miles you can drive it, where it can be driven. They're really fussy about that.
Well, any car
Uh,
over 20 years old is considered a classic.
I know. I'm just saying that.
Heck, my Escalade is a classic.
Yeah.
It's
So is
22.
mine. Yeah. Yeah. Um, we we brought in the vintage car race, and that was going back way back, and there were issues with how cars traveled, groupings, etc. And then Eric redoes old Volkswagens from the 50s and the 60s. So just trying to get insurance on those. I mean, the whole insurance thing is another game in of
It's a
itself.
scam. It's a big
It
scam.
is.
And
Yeah.
you're trapped
And it
in it. You have to pay it in order to drive,
right,
but they screw you over when something goes wrong after all
right,
the money you've put in. Yeah.
right. And it's always amazed me of how people can drive and not have the insurance. I just don't understand how that works. Uh, uh, I, when any car that we've ever purchased, we've had to prove that we've had insurance on it. So perhaps you get the policy and then what, you just stop paying it and that's how you drive? I don't know.
Yeah, Art said I've done that several times. You are legally entitled to the true value of your loss. Kelly Blue Book is only one method of establishing that value.
Well, I can
Hmm.
look into it.
They're gonna fight and argue, but I mean, the fact is, if
I mean,
you've put
no
more money
different.
into it than it's worth, over the years. And it's still worth that value that you've put into it. Like all the work we're doing on the Escalade. If there were to be an accident, and I'm knocking on wood right now, we would have to claim all that money we just put into it with the proof of receipts of the actual
Yeah,
value of the
that
vehicle.
yeah, that could perhaps. I mean, I'm even thinking about what it'll be 2 years, I think, in April when the tree hit the house, Jacob's
Oh
bedroom and
yeah,
took
I
out the
remember
whole
that.
corner. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember?
Uh-huh.
And we did not get the uh, entire amount of money that we put into that. The insurance company came back and said, this is what we claim the value of this is.
You could get an
So we,
estimate from somewhere else. And
oh, we did. We had it. They still, they still denied it, and uh, we would have had to
take it to
pony up
court.
the money to, yeah, take it to court. And at that point, who has money to get an attorney? And, when you look at the difference between what we ended up putting out of, and see, and this is where the scam goes. With the money that we ended up having to put into the repair of the house, right? If we would
Mhm.
have, it would have cost us more to take them to court.
Yeah.
Now, you can argue court fees and all of that, but, that takes time and all of that. And then we would have had to fit, you know, the entire cost to get it repaired and then try to go fight them. It just, again, it just like with your health insurance, it's all a scam.
Mhm.
And I think the average person just gets sucked into this stuff, and it's a headache. I can remember being in one accident. It was during the winter time, and the roads were really bad, and somebody slid. They decided they were going to try to, go past traffic, and they pulled into the from the left lane over to the right lane, hit our car, well, hit me actually, and pushed me into the side of the bridge, bounced me off the side of the bridge. I went all the way across 2 lanes, ended up bouncing off the Jersey barrier from there and got pushed into a ditch. And the insurance companies came back and tried to say it was my fault. And I was like, this is funny.
How?
It was just the most ridiculous
That's
thing.
why
And
I just purchased a dash cam for the front and a dash cam for
mhm,
the back.
yeah. And well, they didn't have them then. And
Yeah.
so we ended up taking the cell phone and uh, driving and showed from the bridge all the way up to, you know, beyond the horizon of how things happened. And fortunately, we were able to win that case. But
Yeah.
see, all they have to do is say no. That's the first thing. I mean, you and I have had the discussion just about trying to get disability or Social
Mhm.
Security and things of that. They don't even really have to look at your case. All they have to do is take the stamp and say no.
Nope. And
That's
some
all
do
they have to do.
that.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most
And it's
definitely.
not right. It's so not right.
Part of
I
it
don't
has to
like
do.
it.
They don't. Yeah, part of it is they don't have enough personnel to go through the paperwork and the documentation that's necessary. I mean, think about all of it.
Here's my
You're
question. Do the people working at Social Security have enough medical background to understand the medical charts they are reading?
probably not. I
Okay.
mean, it's supposed to go to uh, people that are knowledgeable about healthcare. So it was really interesting. I think I've told the story. I can't recall if I did or not, but it made the front page of the newspaper here. And I don't know about across the country or not, but we paid into policies for our employees for short and long term disability. Okay.
Uh huh.
Then you had the right to go, depending on what your parameters were you could go to Social Security for Social Security disability. Do
Uh-huh.
you know that the company that we paid all that money for employees, so I was one of them, right? When I went
Uh-huh.
out on disability, they forced me to go to Social Security. They said I will not get any disability money until I went and filed for Social Security. And here, this big to do, and really nothing came of it, but it made the front page of the newspaper where the carrier was identified as making millions of dollars in savings
From
by
forcing people to go to
forcing,
disability first.
yes, ma'am, by forcing them. And you tell me how that's right after the company paid thousands of dollars to have their employees covered for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
When in most cases, for the whole time I was there, two people, and I was one of them, ever used the policy. So
Mm-hmm.
for years, they made thousands and thousands of dollars.
And then told you
But
had to
yet,
apply for disability through the state first. Yep.
that's correct. Yes, ma'am.
And that's not the way it works.
So when that happened, right, I had to file, the Social Security had to get all of my medical records,
Uh-huh.
all of the specialists, every appointment, all the meds, everything. They wanted everything from A to Z. Now,
Uh-huh.
get this, the carrier then flew in an attorney to represent me at the Social Security hearing. All right. I didn't meet that attorney. Well, I never did meet them. They called me on the phone to interview me 2 days before the hearing. All right. Never talked to them before that, nothing. 2 days before the hearing, they called. The night before the hearing, at 10 o'clock at night, I get a phone call from the attorney. The judge reviewed my case and said, "Are you kidding me? We're going to have a hearing on her? You're absolutely crazy." And he signed and sealed my fate right then and there and said, "She qualifies for disability." So I did not have to go to the hearing. However, Social Security then has been paying part of my disability all these years, and the carrier has saved thousands and thousands of dollars. Multiply that by all the people that they have.
Across all the companies that they
Not only,
insure.
yes, yes. So not only have they gotten money from the state, but they've gotten the money from the company by paying into the policy. Nothing was ever said. It was a big frickin' to do. Do you think that, and they're not the only ones that did it, all these carriers do it. Do you think anything was ever done about it? Do you think that's
Nope.
ever been changed or
Nope.
fixed?
Nope.
Absolutely not. Nope, not a damn thing.
They get a slap on the wrist and that's that.
If that.
Yeah. Most of them at most will get a fine that they get to
Hmm.
pay over time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they really did nothing wrong because there is nothing in the law that says that you cannot do that.
Yep, that's what Art was just saying. It's technically not it's not technically illegal, but it's ethically questionable.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I find it to be, when you find out how the system works and you realize basically they've double dipped almost, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They're getting money from the state plus the money from the company.
and they don't have to pay you out in the end.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Yep.
So again, everything that we're taught, again, every area we've looked at and we've talked about, there's something messed up. There's something wrong with the systems that are in place. And nobody wants to put a stop to what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Just for example, what has gone on with the DOT and all of these illegals.
Yeah.
What happens when you have the governor of Wisconsin saying out loud that if you get rid of illegals, there's going to be nobody to pick our crops and we're going to starve.
You got citizens and teenagers that could get a high school job for the summer. I mean, you're allowed to work from the age of 14 and even younger if you live on that
Right.
farm.
Right.
They could pick crops
But
for the summer.
Americans don't want to pick crops. That's beneath them.
Not for me. I did it. Other people just need to get over their little high and mighty horse, get down, and start being an American, true blood, working on all of this hard work, till the land. Like I said, my kids have done janitorial work. I
Right.
made sure that they've done some kind of low, meaningful work that is usually frowned upon because nothing is beneath you. Pick a job.
No.
My
Shit.
son's working at a gas
I've-
station right
yeah.
now.
Yeah. From the time, hell, I think I was 10 years old going with my dad. My dad was a window cleaner and did janitorial work. He
Yep.
did stuff on the sides. I mean, back in the day when they were allowed to smoke at their desk
Oh
and we'd
God,
have to
yeah.
empty. Oh my God, that's enough. Just thinking about it once, I want to vomit. Emptying ashtrays, having to wipe out ashtrays, cleaning the
Mm-hmm.
toilets, sweeping, dusting, all of that.
Yeah.
Then in
No
the
job is
wintertime,
beneath you if you want
yeah,
money.
right. Heck, you know me and bugs, right? So in the wintertime, not only did I lifeguard, but they had us work at the conservatory, and we would sell at the gift shop. We would sell flowers and plants, and I'd have to go down into the greenhouse. Oh my God, the bugs. Uh,
I
but
love bugs, except the eight-legged
if
spawns of Satan.
well, there were a lot of them there too, but
I can handle
uh,
anything else except the eight-legged spawns of Satan.
yeah. But if you wanted money, like you said, you went where the money was.
Yeah. If you want a job, you figure it out. Vanilla pie back in the good old days.
Yeah.
Art says, I got
I don't
my
know.
own stories. I just prefer to keep them private. I've
Uh-huh.
been Art also says I've been lucky enough to have skills that were worth money since I graduated high school, but that doesn't mean my life has been easy. Exactly.
Right. Right.
It's no job is easy. It's the people who want to get paid to just sit there and play around on their phone, file their nails. No. Do some work. And again, I do not mind kids learning backbreaking labor while they're young enough to do it, because it
Yep.
teaches them work ethics. It teaches them that, I have this crappy job at McDonald's, but it's better than being in 100 degrees in that field over there pulling rocks.
Right.
At least now I got air conditioning.
I was just gonna say that. Yep.
Teach them that it could be worse. Let them experience the worst and work their way up the ladder so they can earn and desire to go higher up. That's all there is to it. Like, no. Just
Yeah, it's
like
stuff is messed up, I'll tell you.
my son loves working. Well, he loves the money more than he does the work, but he's been walking 3 miles in the snow and ice there and back. If he can't get a ride from a coworker, he literally will walk all the way there. We had a scare one day because it took him a little bit longer than it was supposed to, and he wasn't answering his phone. We remember that day. I was in a panic mode. I had to take Clonopin.
Yes.
But my
Well,
son,
I think it had to do with him taking his laying down rest periods.
but my
Let
son
me
will
just stop
do what
and
he's
get
got to
work.
do to get
Right.
work and get money. He
Right.
likes having his own money. He was already telling me he's doing the math and taking out what would be the expected tax rate and stuff to get what his estimate for his check will be. It's going to be here tomorrow, and he's got plans already. And yes, he's like, I'm like, do you need us to get you socks or shoes? He's like, I've got my own money. That's right, you do.
There we
So
go.
Again, this is, I'm like, what do you want me to get you for your birthday? He's like, I've got my own money. I can just get my own. I'm like, no,
Right.
that's not the point. So I've taught my kids from a young age work. They've helped with gardening. They've helped with around the house stuff. I mean, just you teach them from a young age, from the time they can walk. Teach them how to pick up after themselves. I used to take my kids by
Yep.
their hands to pick up their toys at night before going to bed.
Right.
It's just what you're supposed to do. You teach them to do these things, so it's drilled into them so they have a work ethic by the time they're an adult. And then you don't got to worry about anything because they know what the hell to
Right.
do. So, again, we have a society of a bunch of kids whose mommy and daddy are still paying for them. And, like, again, my kids are in their 20s. I'm helping them find jobs, but I'm pushing them to find a way to make money. I'm not just letting them get away with it. My daughter wanted a skin for Fortnite, and her dad's like, well, you're going to have to clean if I put this money on it. And I didn't know about it till after the fact. But he
Right.
worked it out with her. Look, if I'm going to put this money on there, you're going to clean. And she does throughout the night. When she's awake, she gets up and cleans. I've woke up to a completely organized kitchen and I was like, holy shit. She busted her ass
Mhm.
last night somehow. And I didn't hear it. She does what she needs to do.
Someone stole my underwear.
What? My son just walked up and said someone stole his underwear. There are 4 people in this house.
Exactly. Also, you know that video about Dr. Phil joining ICE? There's a bunch of retards.
Okay, I will share that with friends shortly. I love my son. I hope you guys love him as much as I do. He's a great kid. But
That's funny.
yeah, again, he's like, he will work for his money. What skins did she get? I don't know. It was some chick with a bright sunny thing and a cute little sunny pet. I don't know exactly what. My eyesight is shit. But it was. I know it was for Fortnite. They're asking which one.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, the
Whoever came
raccoon
up
must have took it.
Yeah. You know, whoever came up with that, that is what one thing I find frustrating is all how was buying the skins and then they uh whatever they do with them, then they all just disappear. You pay all that money for them and then they're just gone. You don't
Yep.
get to keep them.
Hence why my daughter's got the art supplies coming in this Saturday. And she doesn't want to buy an art easel and make her own. So she wants to just set the canvas on the floor, hurt her back to paint it, and then turn around and sell it.
So I have a quick
To
There
buy,
you go.
get the money to get an easal.
How long
Right.
does, you know,
It takes the
No.
same amount of time as everything else. You can wash it.
I have work at 7 hours, 50.
It's going to take about an hour to wash and an hour to dry. And then hang it over the vent
Yep.
in the bathroom to dry the inside better. I love my family. Chaotic as it is.
There you go.
How long does it take to wash the snowsuit? Well, how long does the washer run for? About an hour in total, if you put it on the long cycles to get it deep
Yep.
cleaned. Dry it in the dryer for an hour and then hang it over the vent in the bathroom where the towel rack is, the towel hooks are, and the vent will do the rest.
There you go.
Like, to me, that's simple, but
All right.
that's what I've always done. And we are over. I see that.
You want to finish this up and then we'll stop here?
Okay, we'll finish this video and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Then we'll be done.
Proposed by President Obama. And that will allow us to add more Border Patrol, more ICE investigators, more K-9 teams, more equipment, more infrastructure. We do have, under the law, the ability to, on a case-by-case basis, defer action. And we have done that on a case-by-case basis, for example, for humanitarian purposes, or for some groups with particularly compelling circumstances, family members of active duty military, Haitian orphans would be two recent examples. But this department is about enforcing the law that we have.
Wow. But Trump does that and
What? Yep.
oh
I mean,
no.
it really it really sounds, well, it doesn't sound, it is extremely aggressive, in my opinion, compared to what Trump is doing.
Yeah.
I mean, did you hear everything that she said they wanted to do? More
Yeah.
this, more that, more, more, more.
But Trump bad. Trump bad for doing
And
the same thing.
yep, make it make sense.
I can't make it make sense because it's pure insanity.
Right. So Crazy B, maybe on this video we save this and pull this out every once in a while and
Oh,
hit
I can.
replay.
Yep. Oh, I can absolutely save this. I can. There's magic. I can make it work.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. What time we looking at? A little bit after 9 o'clock. Everybody,
Yep.
thank you for joining Rex Sisters and listening to us rant. And tomorrow is Wednesday, so it's 7 p.m. Crazy B will have a video that will drop. So
It's
we
already
won't be
scheduled.
live. There you go. We won't be live until Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please don't forget to hit the like button, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. And with that, I'm done and out, and I'm heading to bed so that I can enjoy the wild man in the morning.
Oh, yay. He's a good kid, though. You gotta love that
Yeah,
boy. He is an
yeah, he was good
angel.
today. Yeah, he was good today.
He said hi to me.
That's good. He was. Yeah, he did. Yep, he's getting there.
Oh, he's a sweetheart. Okay, well, I'm going to tell everyone to stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. You know that stuff. Make it into a GIF or a plushie.
There you
Oh,
go.
we're going to call it a night, and I will see y'all on the next one.
Good night.
Good night.